Hello there. I'm Dr. Benjamin Hartwell, and if you or someone you love is struggling with arthritis pain, I want to say this first: you're not alone. And more importantly, you are not without hope. I've spent over 2 decades treating patients, many of whom walked, or sometimes hobbled, into my clinic, exhausted from battling the invisible weight of joint pain. I've seen the look in their eyes, the frustration of waking up stiff every morning, the ache that creeps in when you're trying to enjoy a walk in the park, or the dull, relentless throb in your hands when you're just trying to button a shirt or open a jar. Arthritis is more than just a diagnosis. It's something that affects how you live, how you move, how you feel about yourself. And as a physician, it breaks my heart to see how many people think there's nothing they can do about it except take more pills or just live with it. But here's the truth I want you to hear clearly today. What you put on your plate can be just as powerful as what's in your medicine cabinet. Food is medicine. And in the case of arthritis, the right foods can help reduce inflammation, protect your joints, rebuild cartilage, and ease the daily pain that's been holding you back. Now, I'm not talking about magic berries or overpriced powders. I'm talking about real, everyday vegetables, available at your local grocery store or farmer's market. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through the top 10 vegetables that can help relieve arthritis pain and inflammation, naturally, safely, and effectively. And I won't just give you a list. You'll learn why each of these vegetables works, what nutrients they contain, how they target inflammation, and how they support joint health at the cellular level. You'll also get practical, science-backed tips on how to prepare and enjoy these vegetables for maximum benefit. This isn't just another listicle video. It's a tool, a guide, for anyone who wants to take back control of their mobility, reduce their reliance on medication, and finally start living with less pain and more freedom. By the end of this journey, I hope you won't just have new items to add to your grocery list, but a deeper understanding of how your body can heal from the inside out. So take a deep breath, get comfortable, and let's take the first step toward a life with healthier joints, better movement, and a lot more hope, one bite at a time. Ready? Let's begin. Before we dive into the specific vegetables that can change your life, let's take a moment to understand why vegetables are such a critical part of man. You see, arthritis is not just about worn-out joints or aging bones. At its core, arthritis, whether it's osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, or psoriatic arthritis, is an I. That means inflamma is the M. So if we can calm that inflammation down, even just a little, we can start to reduce pain, protect the joints, and slow down the progression of the disease. And that's E. Vegetables are nature's pharmacy. They're packed with what we call phytonutrients, plant-based lower inflammation. Many vegetables also contain essential vitamins and minerals that directly support joy, things like 6. But there's more. Vegetables are also high in fiber, and fiber plays a surpri calming. But what I've also seen, again and again, is that when my patients begin to shift their diet, even just slightly, when they start including more of the right vegetables every day, their morning stiffness isn't quite as bad. Their hope are. So now that you understand why let's begin with vegetable number 1, broccoli, and why it's considered one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory foods on the planet. Let's start with a green giant of joint health, broccoli. Now, I know it might not be everyone's favorite on the plate, but as a doctor, I can't overstate its importance. When it comes to fighting arthritis from the inside out, broccoli is a true powerhouse. What makes it so special? First, broccoli contains a natural compound called sulforaphane. This isn't just another trendy nutrient, it's backed by real science. Sulforaphane has been shown to block enzymes that drive joint damage, especially in osteoarthritis. In other words, it acts like a natural defense system inside your body, protecting your cartilage from breaking down. Now let's talk about vitamin C. Broccoli is loaded with it. Why does that matter? Vitamin C is essential for producing collagen, the protein that forms the cushiony cartilage in your joints. When collagen breaks down, joints become more painful and stiff. But when you support your body's collagen production with the right nutrients, like vitamin C, you give your joints the raw materials they need to rebuild and stay strong. Broccoli also brings in vitamin K, which supports bone density. And that's something we often overlook in arthritis care. Weak bones mean more pressure on your joints. Vitamin K helps your bones retain calcium and reduces the risk of fractures, something many arthritis sufferers are more vulnerable to, especially as they age. Now, let's not forget about broccoli's antioxidants, like lutein and zeaxanthin. These compounds help neutralize free radicals, those unstable molecules that worsen inflammation and speed up joint deterioration. By including antioxidant-rich vegetables like broccoli in your daily meals, you're essentially slowing down the aging process within your joints. And there's more. Broccoli is high in fiber, which supports gut health and, as we talked about earlier, helps lower systemic inflammation. A happy gut often means happier joints. So, how do you get the most out of this incredible vegetable? Here's my advice. Don't boil it to death. Overcooking broccoli strips away many of its key nutrients. Instead, lightly steam it, sauté it with a bit of olive oil, or toss it into a stir-fry. That way, you preserve the sulforaphane and other nutrients that make broccoli so beneficial. And when you pair broccoli with a healthy fat, like extra virgin olive oil, you actually increase the absorption of its fat-soluble vitamins. If you're just starting out, try adding a half cup to your dinner plate a few times a week. It doesn't take much to begin feeling the difference. In my experience, patients who consistently include broccoli in their diet report less stiffness, improved mobility, and fewer flare-ups over time. So, don't underestimate this simple green vegetable. Broccoli isn't just good for you, it's medicine for your joints. Coming up next, another leafy green with extraordinary anti-inflammatory powers, spinach. Let's take a closer look. Next on our list is a vegetable that might look delicate, but don't be fooled. Spinach is a quiet warrior when it comes to relieving arthritis pain and protecting your joints. Spinach is a nutrient-dense leafy green, meaning it delivers a massive amount of vitamins and minerals in just a few calories. That's incredibly important for arthritis patients, especially those trying to manage weight, a key factor in reducing pressure on the knees, hips, and ankles. One of the star compounds in spinach is quercetin, a powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory flavonoid. Quercetin works deep in your cells to help reduce the production of inflammatory chemicals that trigger joint pain, stiffness, and swelling. Several studies have shown that quercetin not only eases inflammation, but also helps reduce pain perception in people living with chronic arthritis. Spinach is also rich in vitamin K, which plays a critical role in bone strength. This vitamin helps regulate calcium in the body, ensuring it stays in your bones rather than getting deposited in the joints or arteries. Stronger bones mean better support for your joints, less friction, and less pain. Now let's talk about magnesium and iron. Magnesium helps relax muscles, which can ease tension around the joints and improve mobility. And iron supports healthy oxygen circulation to the muscles and connective tissues, ensuring that your joints are properly nourished. These minerals work together to keep your musculoskeletal system running smoothly. And yes, vitamin C makes an appearance again. Like in broccoli, the vitamin C in spinach supports collagen synthesis, helping to repair and maintain cartilage, the shock absorber between your bones. Over time, this can make a real difference in how your joints handle everyday movement. One more benefit: spinach contains beta-carotene, which your body converts into vitamin A key nutrient for fighting inflammation and supporting immune health, especially for those living with autoimmune-related arthritis, like rheumatoid arthritis. Now, how should you eat spinach to get the most benefit? You've got options. You can enjoy spinach raw in salads, blend it into smoothies, toss it into soups, or lightly sauté it as a side dish. But be mindful not to overcook it. Excessive heat can degrade its most valuable nutrients. Light cooking or quick steaming is all it takes. Another helpful tip: pair spinach with healthy fats, like a few slices of avocado, a sprinkle of chopped nuts, or a drizzle of olive oil. This enhances the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins like A, E, and K. In my practice, I've seen patients experience real, lasting improvements just by adding spinach into their daily meals. They feel more energized, less inflamed, and often begin to reclaim flexibility they thought they had lost forever. Spinach may not speak loudly, but in the world of arthritis relief, it delivers powerful, quiet healing. Next up, we're moving from green to golden. Let's talk about a naturally sweet and deeply nourishing vegetable, sweet potatoes. Now let's turn our attention to one of the most comforting, colorful, and healing vegetables in your kitchen, sweet potatoes. Beyond their delicious flavor and vibrant orange color, sweet potatoes are nutritional gold for people suffering from arthritis. In fact, when patients ask me, "What's one thing I can add to my plate that actually helps with joint pain?" Sweet potatoes are always near the top of my list. Why? It starts with their deep orange hue, which comes from a compound called beta-carotene. Once inside your body, beta-carotene is converted into vitamin A, a potent antioxidant that helps calm inflammation, protect your immune system, and reduce oxidative stress around your joints. And that's just the beginning. Sweet potatoes are also high in vitamin C, which you've heard me mention before, and for good reason. Vitamin C supports the production of collagen, which acts like cushioning between your bones. With stronger collagen support, cartilage is less likely to wear down, and joints can move more smoothly, with less pain. But here's something many people overlook. Sweet potatoes are rich in fiber, and that's a big deal for arthritis sufferers. Why? Because fiber fuels the healthy bacteria in your gut, which in turn regulate immune responses and keep inflammation in check. A healthier gut often leads to less systemic inflammation, and that includes your joints. It's another way food helps you heal from the inside out. Now let's talk about potassium. Sweet potatoes are packed with it. Potassium helps regulate fluid balance in the body, which means it can reduce swelling and stiffness in inflamed joints. For patients dealing with arthritis in the knees, ankles, or hands, this can be a game changer. They also contain magnesium, a mineral that supports muscle relaxation and helps reduce cramping, which often occurs when surrounding muscles are tense from joint discomfort. And here's something else. Sweet potatoes are low on the glycemic index, which means they don't spike your blood sugar the way other starchy foods might. That's incredibly helpful for people managing inflammation, especially if you're also dealing with metabolic issues like prediabetes or insulin resistance, both of which can make arthritis worse. So how do you prepare them? Sweet potatoes are extremely versatile. You can bake them whole, roast them into wedges, mash them, or even steam them and blend into soups. Just avoid frying or loading them with sugar or marshmallows. That's not the kind of healing we're aiming for. And for an extra boost, try pairing sweet potatoes with other anti-inflammatory ingredients, like sautéed spinach, steamed broccoli, or a drizzle of olive oil and garlic. It's no exaggeration to say that sweet potatoes offer sweet relief. They nourish your joints, support your immune system, and satisfy your taste buds, all in one humble vegetable. Next, we'll explore a leafy green that packs an even bigger punch than most people realize: kale. Let's see how it can strengthen your bones and soothe inflamed joints. If I had to name one vegetable that's been underestimated for far too long, it would be kale. Often brushed off as just another trendy superfood, kale is actually a nutritional powerhouse, especially for those suffering from arthritis. It's not just good for you, it's deeply therapeutic for your joints, bones, and entire inflammatory system. Let's break it down. First, kale is an incredible source of vitamin K, and that matters more than you might think. Vitamin K is essential for bone health. It helps regulate calcium, directs it into your bones where it belongs, and keeps it out of places where it doesn't, like your arteries or soft tissues. For arthritis patients, stronger bones mean less pressure and wear on the joints, which leads to less pain and better mobility. In fact, several studies have linked low vitamin K levels to increased risk of osteoarthritis. That's how vital this single nutrient can be. But kale doesn't stop there. It's also rich in vitamin C, which supports collagen production and keeps the connective tissue around your joints strong and flexible. That flexibility is critical, because as arthritis progresses, joints become stiff and movement feels restricted. Collagen helps restore that fluidity. Kale also delivers a potent dose of beta-carotene, which converts to vitamin A, another powerful antioxidant. This helps combat oxidative stress, one of the leading contributors to chronic inflammation in arthritis. When your body is overwhelmed by free radicals, joint damage accelerates. But with antioxidant support from foods like kale, you can slow down that damage and promote joint repair. And here's something many people don't realize. Kale contains a small but meaningful amount of omega-3 fatty acids. Yes, the same healthy fats found in fish like salmon. Omega-3s are natural anti-inflammatories, and they help reduce joint stiffness, pain, and swelling over time. Let's not forget kale's rich content of calcium, magnesium, and fiber. Calcium, of course, supports bone strength. Magnesium helps relax muscles and reduce tension around the joints. And fiber feeds the gut, which, as we've discussed, helps regulate your immune response and calm chronic inflammation. So how do you get kale into your life without turning it into a chore? Start simple. Add a handful of kale to your morning smoothie. Toss it into soups, or sauté it with olive oil and garlic for a savory, healing side dish. You can even bake kale into crispy chips, a favorite among my patients who want something healthy and crunchy. One tip: to enhance absorption of fat-soluble vitamins like A, E, and K, always pair kale with a healthy fat, like avocado, nuts, or extra virgin olive oil. In my experience, patients who commit to eating kale just 2 or 3 times per week notice a real difference, not just in joint flexibility, but also in overall energy, digestion, and recovery after activity. So don't underestimate those dark green leaves. In every forkful of kale, you're getting a bone-strengthening, inflammation-fighting, joint-protecting miracle straight from nature. Coming up next, a crunchy, colorful vegetable that's as healing as it is delicious: carrots. Let's move on to a vegetable that's familiar, vibrant, and often overlooked in conversations about joint health: carrots. You've probably heard that carrots are good for your eyes, and that's true. But here's something most people don't know. Carrots are also excellent for your joints, especially if you suffer from arthritis. The secret lies in their signature orange color, which comes from beta-carotene, a powerful antioxidant that your body converts into vitamin A. This conversion process helps reduce inflammation and protect tissues throughout the body, including cartilage and connective tissue. Why is that important? Because chronic inflammation is the driver behind joint pain, swelling, and stiffness. And when inflammation builds up over time, it doesn't just cause discomfort, it can actually damage your joints at the cellular level. Antioxidants like beta-carotene help to neutralize free radicals, slowing this damage and giving your joints a better chance to repair. Carrots are also a good source of vitamin C, a key nutrient we've talked about already. Vitamin C is essential for building collagen, the structural protein that cushions your joints and keeps them moving smoothly. Without adequate collagen, joints become brittle, friction increases, and pain becomes more intense. Adding vitamin C-rich foods like carrots to your diet helps your body rebuild that lost cushion. And let's not forget about potassium and magnesium, 2 minerals found in carrots that support muscle and nerve function. These minerals are particularly important for patients with arthritis because they help ease muscle tension around the joints and reduce inflammation-related cramping. Now here's another bonus. Carrots are high in fiber. And as we've discussed, fiber plays a critical role in gut health, which directly impacts inflammation throughout the body. A healthy gut means a more balanced immune system. And that's especially important for people with autoimmune-related arthritis, like rheumatoid arthritis or lupus. One of the best things about carrots? They're incredibly easy to incorporate into your meals. You can eat them raw as a snack, toss them into salads, add them to soups and stews, or roast them until they're slightly caramelized and tender. Light cooking actually increases the bioavailability of beta-carotene, meaning your body absorbs more of it when carrots are gently steamed or roasted. That's a great tip to keep in mind when preparing them. If juicing is your thing, carrots make an excellent base for anti-inflammatory juices, especially when paired with turmeric, ginger, or green vegetables like kale or spinach. So whether you're nibbling on them raw or blending them into a warm soup, carrots offer a sweet, satisfying way to support your joint health, without the need for expensive supplements or complicated recipes. They may be common, but carrots are anything but ordinary when it comes to healing from the inside out. Coming up next, a smaller vegetable with massive joint healing potential: Brussels sprouts. Let's take a closer look. If there's one vegetable on this list that deserves a second chance, it's Brussels sprouts. They've gotten a bad reputation over the years, maybe from being overboiled or underseasoned. But when prepared right, Brussels sprouts are not only delicious, they are one of the most powerful vegetables for joint health and inflammation control. These little green orbs belong to the cruciferous family, just like broccoli. And that means they share many of the same anti-inflammatory benefits, but with a few unique advantages of their own. First and foremost, Brussels sprouts are rich in a compound called sulforaphane, the same joint-protecting molecule found in broccoli. Sulforaphane has been shown to block cartilage-destroying enzymes, and slow the progression of osteoarthritis. For patients suffering from wear and tear in the knees, hips, or spine, this compound can be a true game changer. They're also packed with vitamin K, which plays a key role in bone strength. For people with arthritis, weak bones increase the stress on the joints and accelerate damage. By reinforcing your skeletal structure, vitamin K helps reduce pain and improve long-term mobility. Brussels sprouts are an excellent source of vitamin C as well. As we've discussed, vitamin C is critical for producing collagen, the connective tissue that acts like a cushion inside the joints. By supporting collagen formation, you give your joints the resilience they need to handle everyday stress. And we can't forget about antioxidants. Brussels sprouts contain a wide range of them, like kaempferol and isothiocyanates, which help fight the oxidative stress that drives chronic inflammation in the body. These antioxidants neutralize free radicals and protect cells from further damage, keeping your joints healthier for longer. Here's something that's often overlooked. Brussels sprouts also support a healthy gut. Their high fiber content nourishes the beneficial bacteria in your digestive system, and that gut balance helps regulate inflammation throughout the entire body. Inflammation isn't just a joint issue, it's a whole body issue, and Brussels sprouts address it from both ends, the immune system and the microbiome. And yes, believe it or not, they contain small amounts of omega-3 fatty acids, which further support joint flexibility and reduce morning stiffness. So how should you prepare them? The key is to avoid overboiling them. That's what gives Brussels sprouts their bitter, sulfuric smell and strips them of their best nutrients. Instead, try roasting them until the edges are crispy and caramelized, or sauté them lightly with olive oil and garlic. You can even shred them raw into a salad with lemon juice and a sprinkle of seeds. Patients who incorporate Brussels sprouts 2 to 3 times a week often tell me they feel less bloated, less stiff, and more energized. It's a small habit with a big payoff, and one that's accessible to anyone. Coming up next, a colorful, crunchy vegetable that's as beautiful as it is beneficial, bell peppers. Now let's bring a little color into the conversation with bell peppers. These vibrant vegetables, red, yellow, orange, and green, are not just eye-catching on your plate. They are powerful anti-inflammatory allies, especially for people living with arthritis. The standout nutrient in bell peppers is vitamin C. In fact, red bell peppers have more vitamin C than oranges, and that's excellent news for your joints. Why? Because vitamin C is essential for the production of collagen, the protein that cushions your joints and keeps cartilage strong and supple. Without enough vitamin C, your joints lose the support they need to move freely, and that's when pain and stiffness begin to take over. But that's just the beginning. Bell peppers are also rich in beta-carotene, a powerful antioxidant that your body converts into vitamin A. This compound helps protect cells from oxidative stress, the process that wears down your joints and worsens arthritis symptoms over time. Another powerful weapon in bell peppers? Quercetin, a flavonoid that helps reduce inflammation at the cellular level. Research shows that quercetin can inhibit the release of inflammatory mediators, easing joint pain and improving overall comfort. For patients with rheumatoid arthritis, this natural compound can be particularly beneficial in calming autoimmune flare-ups. And here's something unique. The different colors of bell peppers provide slightly different nutrients. Red bell peppers contain the highest levels of antioxidants, including lycopene and beta-carotene. Yellow and orange peppers are high in lutein and zeaxanthin, excellent for vision and immune health. Green bell peppers are less sweet, but still packed with vitamin C and fiber. No matter which color you choose, you're making a joint-smart choice. And speaking of fiber, bell peppers are also high in it, which helps support gut health and reduce systemic inflammation. As we've discussed before, a healthy gut microbiome can dramatically improve how your immune system responds, especially in chronic inflammatory conditions like arthritis. Bell peppers are also low in calories, which makes them ideal for weight management, a crucial part of arthritis care. Carrying extra weight adds pressure to your knees, hips, and ankles. By choosing nutrient-dense, low-calorie vegetables like bell peppers, you support your joints and your overall energy. So how do you enjoy them? You've got options. Bell peppers can be eaten raw, sliced into salads, or dipped in hummus for a crunchy snack. They're also delicious roasted, grilled, or sautéed with olive oil and garlic. Add them to stir-fries, fajitas, pasta dishes, or soups. They enhance both the flavor and the health benefits of any meal. And remember, cooking bell peppers lightly can actually enhance the absorption of some nutrients, especially when combined with a bit of healthy fat. So don't be fooled by their sweetness. Bell peppers are a serious ally in the fight against joint pain and inflammation. Next, we turn to a pungent, aromatic ingredient that's been used for centuries in natural medicine: garlic. Let's explore why this tiny bulb packs a massive anti-inflammatory punch. Now let's talk about a humble kitchen staple that might already be sitting in your pantry: garlic. This small, pungent bulb has been used in healing traditions for thousands of years. And today, modern science confirms what ancient medicine long suspected. Garlic is one of the most powerful natural anti-inflammatories available, especially when it comes to joint pain and arthritis. So what makes garlic so effective? It comes down to a compound called allicin, which is released when garlic is chopped or crushed. Allicin has been shown to reduce inflammation by blocking pathways in the body that produce pro-inflammatory cytokines. These are the very chemicals that cause your joints to swell, ache, and feel stiff. But garlic goes even further. It's also rich in sulfur-containing compounds, which help support the structure of connective tissue. Sulfur is a building block of collagen, the protein that cushions your joints and keeps your cartilage resilient. And because arthritis often involves the breakdown of cartilage, getting enough sulfur through foods like garlic can help slow that process down. Garlic also supports the immune system, and that's critical for anyone living with an autoimmune form of arthritis, like rheumatoid arthritis or lupus. A balanced immune system means fewer flare-ups, less joint erosion, and more days with real comfort and mobility. Another benefit? Garlic is packed with antioxidants, including selenium and vitamin C. These antioxidants protect joint cells from oxidative damage, which worsens inflammation and accelerates tissue breakdown. One of the things I love most about garlic is how versatile and accessible it is. You don't need exotic ingredients or expensive supplements. Just a few cloves of garlic each day can make a difference over time. So how should you use it? For maximum potency, chop or crush garlic and let it sit for 10 minutes before cooking. This allows allicin to fully develop. If you're comfortable with it, consuming garlic raw, in salad dressings, salsas, or dips, preserves its full anti-inflammatory strength. But even lightly cooked garlic retains many of its healing benefits. Garlic pairs beautifully with almost every other vegetable on this list. Toss it into a stir-fry with kale and bell peppers, roast it alongside sweet potatoes, or mix it into mashed carrots or Brussels sprouts. It adds both flavor and function to any anti-inflammatory meal. Some patients also ask about garlic supplements. They can be useful, but it's best to speak with your healthcare provider before starting any concentrated extract, especially if you're on blood thinners or medication for blood pressure. In my years of practice, I've seen people reduce morning stiffness, decrease their need for over-the-counter pain medications, and even report better sleep after incorporating garlic into their regular diet. It's a simple ingredient, but with daily use, garlic becomes a natural shield against inflammation and joint deterioration. Next, we move on to a vegetable that's every bit as potent and often hiding in plain sight in your kitchen. Let's talk about onions and why their rich nutritional profile makes them a must-have for arthritis relief. If garlic is nature's pain blocker, then onions are its silent partner in healing, subtle, unassuming, but packed with medicinal power. Onions are more than just a flavor base for soups and stews. They're one of the richest sources of a powerful flavonoid called quercetin. And for those living with arthritis, quercetin can make a meaningful difference. Let's talk about why. Quercetin is a natural anti-inflammatory compound. It works by inhibiting the production of enzymes and cytokines that fuel chronic inflammation, the same ones responsible for the swelling, redness, and pain in your joints. In fact, studies show that quercetin may even help reduce joint stiffness and morning discomfort in patients with rheumatoid arthritis. But onions go beyond inflammation. They also contain sulfur compounds, much like garlic. These compounds support the formation of collagen and protect existing cartilage from breaking down. For people with osteoarthritis or age-related joint degeneration, sulfur is essential for keeping the connective tissue strong and functional. Onions are also a good source of vitamin C, which, as you know by now, is critical for producing and maintaining the collagen that cushions your joints. More vitamin C means better protection against joint degradation over time. One often overlooked benefit of onions is their impact on gut health. With their high fiber content, particularly in raw form, onions help feed the good bacteria in your digestive system. A healthier gut means a more balanced immune response and less systemic inflammation, which can lead to measurable improvements in joint pain and mobility. But not all onions are created equal. Red onions, for example, contain higher concentrations of quercetin and anthocyanins, two compounds that fight oxidative stress and inflammation. If you're aiming for maximum anti-arthritis benefit, adding red onions to your diet several times a week is a smart move. How can you enjoy them? The beauty of onions is how versatile they are. You can eat them raw, sliced into salads, tucked into sandwiches, or added to salsas. If the taste is too strong, soak them in lemon juice or vinegar for a few minutes to mellow the flavor while preserving the nutrients. Cooked onions still offer benefits, especially when caramelized slowly, roasted, or added to hearty dishes like stews and casseroles. Just remember that high-heat cooking may reduce some of the quercetin, so try to mix raw and lightly cooked onions into your weekly meals. Over the years, I've had patients tell me that something as simple as switching from white onions to red and including them more frequently in their meals made a noticeable difference in joint stiffness and digestive comfort. It's proof that healing doesn't always require a prescription. It just requires consistency and the right choices. And speaking of powerful choices, we've now arrived at the final vegetable on our list. Let's explore how tomatoes, yes, even the ones in your sauce, can help restore joint flexibility and combat inflammation. Last but certainly not least on our list is a vegetable that's often treated like a fruit, and in many ways, it offers the best of both worlds when it comes to healing and flavor. I'm talking about tomatoes. Juicy, vibrant, and incredibly versatile, tomatoes are more than just a salad ingredient or pizza topping. They are one of the richest natural sources of lycopene, a powerful antioxidant that has been widely studied for its anti-inflammatory properties. So what exactly is lycopene, and why does it matter for arthritis? Lycopene helps reduce oxidative stress in the body by neutralizing free radicals, the unstable molecules that damage cells and trigger inflammation. In people with arthritis, this oxidative stress tends to concentrate around the joints, worsening pain, stiffness, and swelling. But lycopene works behind the scenes to cool that internal fire, giving your joints a chance to rest and repair. Interestingly, lycopene is even more bioavailable when tomatoes are cooked, which means your body absorbs it more effectively from tomato sauce, soups, and stews than from raw slices. That's one of the rare cases where cooking actually enhances the nutritional impact. Tomatoes are also high in vitamin C, which you now know is essential for collagen production. Healthy levels of collagen help maintain strong cartilage, the flexible tissue that cushions your joints and protects your bones from rubbing together. Without enough collagen, arthritis pain worsens. But when you support collagen naturally through foods like tomatoes, you're strengthening the very framework that holds your joints together. In addition, tomatoes contain beta-carotene, potassium, and other antioxidants that support joint flexibility, fluid balance, and overall tissue health. Potassium, in particular, helps reduce swelling in the joints by balancing sodium levels and flushing out excess fluid. Another overlooked benefit of tomatoes is their support of cardiovascular health. Since many people with arthritis also struggle with heart disease, metabolic issues, or blood pressure concerns, tomatoes can serve dual purposes, supporting joint health while protecting your heart. How should you include tomatoes in your meals? You've got more options than you might think. Enjoy them raw in salads or sandwiches, or roasted with herbs and garlic for added flavor and benefit. Simmer tomatoes into a hearty soup, blend them into smooth sauces, or make a homemade salsa to pair with anti-inflammatory snacks. Even a simple bowl of tomato-based lentil stew can deliver serious joint-healing nutrients. For best results, cook tomatoes with a healthy fat like olive oil, which enhances the absorption of lycopene and other fat-soluble vitamins. That's why traditional Mediterranean diets, which frequently combine tomatoes with olive oil, are known for their anti-inflammatory effects. In my practice, I've seen patients who add cooked tomatoes into their weekly rotation experience smoother joint movement, less morning stiffness, and even better skin and energy levels. All from one simple, accessible food. So the next time you reach for a tomato, whether raw, roasted, or simmered. Remember, you're not just eating a vegetable. You're feeding your joints, your immune system, and your entire body with one of nature's most healing gifts. Now that we've covered all 10 vegetables, let's talk about how to put them together into an everyday eating plan that works in real life. Now that you've learned about the top 10 vegetables that relieve arthritis pain and inflammation, you might be wondering, how do I actually use this information in my day-to-day life? The truth is, knowing is only half the battle. Doing is what creates change. So let's take this final stretch of our journey and turn knowledge into action. With a simple, realistic plan you can follow every day, using these vegetables to nourish your joints, strengthen your bones, and reduce inflammation naturally. Step 1. Start with one meal at a time. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Begin by focusing on just one meal per day, maybe lunch or dinner, and build it around joint-friendly vegetables. For example, lunch idea: anti-inflammatory salad bowl. Base of kale and spinach. Add roasted sweet potatoes for natural sweetness. Toss in red onions and sliced bell peppers. Top with a light olive oil and garlic dressing. Optional. Sprinkle with sunflower seeds or walnuts for healthy fats. This meal takes 10 to 15 minutes to prepare and gives you 6 of the top 10 vegetables in one dish. Step 2. Batch prep for the week. Set aside an hour or two at the beginning of the week to roast Brussels sprouts, bake carrots, or simmer a big pot of tomato-based vegetable soup with garlic and onions. Doing this ahead of time ensures you always have healthy, anti-inflammatory meals ready to go, even on your busiest days. Step 3. Build a daily rotation. Here's a simple way to structure your vegetable intake. Morning. Add a handful of spinach or kale to a smoothie. Lunch. Include a raw salad with bell peppers, onions, and some steamed broccoli. Dinner. Enjoy a warm dish like roasted sweet potatoes, Brussels sprouts, and a tomato-based stew. Snacks or sides. Add raw carrots with hummus or garlic roasted veggies. You don't need to hit all 10 every single day. Even 3 to 5 servings daily from this list can lead to noticeable improvement over time. Step 4. Pair with healthy fats and hydration. Remember, many of these nutrients, like vitamins A, E, and K, are fat-soluble, meaning they're best absorbed when eaten with healthy fats. Think olive oil, avocados, or a few chopped nuts. And don't forget to stay hydrated. Water keeps the joints lubricated and helps flush inflammatory toxins from the body. Step 5. Be consistent. This isn't a quick fix, it's a long game. But when you consistently nourish your body with foods designed to heal, inflammation begins to quiet down. Pain starts to fade. Mobility returns. And life gets easier. I've seen this firsthand in my patients. Not because they took a miracle drug, but because they made daily, deliberate choices like the ones you're about to make. So don't underestimate the power of a plate full of vegetables. This is your opportunity to eat with purpose, to fight inflammation at the source, and to rebuild a body that feels stronger, freer, and more alive. Next, let's bring it all together with a final word of encouragement and reflection. If you've made it this far, I want to take a moment to say something important. I see you. I hear you. And I truly believe in your ability to take back control over your health. Arthritis can be overwhelming. It shows up uninvited, lingers longer than you expect, and makes even the simplest tasks feel like battles. For many of my patients, arthritis isn't just about joint pain, it's about loss. Loss of mobility, of independence, of joy in the small things like kneeling in a garden or walking downstairs without hesitation. But here's the message I want you to carry with you. Healing doesn't always start with a pill. Sometimes it starts with a fork. Throughout this video, we've walked through 10 vegetables that aren't just food, they're medicine. Broccoli, guarding your joints from inside out. Spinach, quietly rebuilding the tissues that time and inflammation have worn down. Sweet potatoes, delivering gentle, natural relief. Kale, fortifying your bones. Carrots, onions, garlic, peppers, sprouts, and tomatoes, each one bringing its own unique gift to your table. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to eat every one of these vegetables every single day. But if you begin, even with 1 or 2 changes this week, your body will notice. And over time, you may find that mornings are a little easier, stairs feel a little shorter, your energy is a little more consistent, and the pain that once defined your day no longer controls it. That's the power of consistent, nourishing choices. And as a doctor who's seen countless transformations, I can tell you, it's never too late. Whether you're 40 or 80, you can still make changes that bring comfort, stability, and life back to your joints. I encourage you, take these vegetables seriously. Shop for them with intention. Cook them with care. Share them with people you love. And most importantly, give your body time to respond. Because when you treat your body with respect, it tends to return the favor. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I hope you feel more empowered, more informed, and more hopeful than when we began. If you found this helpful, consider sharing it with someone else who's struggling with joint pain. And if you'd like more tips on natural health, healing through food, and managing arthritis in sustainable ways, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, because this journey is just beginning. Remember, your health is built one small choice at a time, and every step toward healing counts. Until next time, stay strong, stay curious, and never stop nourishing your body from the inside out.